just a quick reminder for you on the idea of asking if someone has ever done something before, which is how we ask about people's experiences. And people's experiences we ask about are the same that we have that we do in English. If you actually look at our English plays, have ever done, we have a having in the present tense and a done in the past tense. And if you keep that in mind, that will help you to remember how to construct this. So our having is, of course, arimasu. And in making sure that we have done the activity, we look for a verb in the plain past. And the link between the two is koto ga arimasu. Literally, you know, as it does in English, it means do you have the thing of having done that. And note that the experience, you're either going to have it or you're not going to have it. We tend to make an error, and the error you tend to make is something koto ga arimashita. But remember, that doesn't make sense. That means I used to have the experience of having done it, but I don't have it anymore. And that's not something that can literally happen. Even if you can't remember it, you still have that experience. When you have experienced it, the typical thing to do for most people is to qualify the degree or the number of times of which they have done it. And so when we do that, we take a look at either two things. One is when we did it or how many times. So when is something like ichinen mai or gonen mai ni. That ni is critical then. Another way to do it would be to say something like kodomo no toki. When I was a child. Yoku ne some Disneyland de itta koto ga arimasu ka. The other way that we can do is talk about how many times we've done it. And when we usually think times, we usually think of the counter kai. But really what we're going to ask here is we're going to ask the degree to which we've done it. And in that particular case, don't worry about the kanji. The counter is do. Ichido kanade itte koto arimasu. Nido kanade itte koto arimasu. Often too, we can often put gurai in here. Now, if you've done something many, many times, our response is nando mo kanade itte koto ga arimasu. When you haven't experienced it, because it's very direct to say, I haven't done it, usually in Japanese we do the same thing. We soften or we qualify it. And when we qualify it, we can either do it by the number of times that we've done it, or we can say that we haven't done it and we can kind of get a hint of regret in there. So if we look at number of times, we know that it's ichido, and it's the same ichido mo, but instead now we're going to lead with arimasen. Another way to express that we've never done anything is to make someone understand that even though you've never done it, you're sort of meaning to do it. And this happens even if it's not really true. So a nice way to do that is to lead with mada. Mada, the idea of not yet. Dakara mada kanade itta koto ga, and again, arimasen. The final way that we like to qualify it is we say, and in English, the other way of saying sort of not yet, which literally means up until now, is the idea of ima made ni, toka kore made ni. Ima made ni, that ni can sometimes be optional. Kanade itta koto ga arimasen. You know what? I haven't done it yet. And both of these will carry the idea of some kind of regret to it, or gee, I've always wanted to kind of idea. And this makes the not having done it a much more acceptable excuse when you're talking to your speaker. In other words, you can say it and not lose face.